Welcome to Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. Guys, we took a week off, but we are back. And we are back coming in strong doing a recap of Monday Night Raw from March 23rd, 2026. With me tonight, WCW veteran, author of Looking Up at the Lights, the one, the only, Robbie Idol. Robbie, how are you, man?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Also, some man that I call friend, even call brother at times. Most of the time, I love him. Sometimes I want to shake him. A man who I'll soon be calling neighbor. Hopefully, he'll be sitting down, drinking a Diet Mountain Dew on my sofa, petting one of my dogs as we're watching a pay-per-view because not only is he superficial, but he's cheap. And you know he ain't paying for his own goddamn pay-per-views. I'm talking about a wrestling Hall of Famer, the man with the best damn punch in the business. I'm talking the one, the only, the cooker, Bob Cook. How are you, Bob?
Oh, you had me with the sometimes you love them, sometimes you want to shake them. Brought back memories of ring rats. Wait a minute now. Did you say that, Robbie?
Did you say that, Robbie? Bob wants to know, did you say that about the ring rats? For those, Bob, who may not know what are ring rats,
No.
why don't you tell the fans, maybe the CM Punk fans, the 40-year-old virgins living in a basement.
Oh.
What are ring rats?
Oh, well, they're a special human being that no matter what position you are in the wrestling business, at least in those days, if you were on TV, they thought you were somebody. And guess who didn't argue with them?
Now, more times than not, these individuals Bob talking about were of the female kind, most of the time. And they would do certain favors for professional wrestlers, and we'll end it there. Terry Zeller says, "Good evening. I missed you guys." Terry.
I'll tell you a story. Oh.
Go ahead, Bob.
Memphis in '88, when Jerry Gray and I went there to be the Mighty Yankees for a week, we met one of those special ladies on the first night after TV. We did TV in the morning in Memphis, and then we went to Nashville Fairgrounds to wrestle that night, and I met a young lady, and she took us everywhere. We didn't have to rent a car. She paid for our hotel rooms. She bought us food. A wonderful lady. So they do good things.
They do, from what I hear. It's funny because in every industry, I think you have those people. Being someone that traveled as a bartender, we had those women who like bartenders too.
Nasty Ned got us in Gainesville, Georgia once. We stayed at a woman's house. Her daughter was beautiful. She wasn't so much. But Ned paid special attention to her because we got free room and board for the night. Those are stories you don't want to hear.
Well, Robbie, there's rumors. There's rumors. I'm not going to confirm because I can't. Only Robbie can. But there's rumors that there might be a second book somewhere.
Oh.
And unlike his first book, if there is a second book, I think me and a lot of fans would love some of those stories that Robbie Idol. Or Robbie, were you so precious that you don't know anything about those type of things?
What a way to start the show.
I know, right? But let's put it this way. If that second book comes out, there will be a lot of surprised people.
This is like the plead the fifth to protect the guilty show.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. We didn't bring anybody in there, but when they some of the stuff that would be uncovered, people will be very surprised.
we could tell the time that Penelope Paradise slapped me upside the head for not doing what she asked me to do with one of those particular women.
Guys, Monday Night Raw last night. I'll be honest. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a decent show. Bob?
I don't know. It was all right. The ending though is the same old stuff every week.
Yeah.
And CM Punk says where's Roman? He goes, I've been trying to figure it out every week. I'm like, he's there every week, you idiot. Who writes this stuff?
Right. And
Roman Reigns is legitimately afraid of CM Punk. Come on.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We'll get into that main event segment. Robbie, what about you? Your overall thoughts about Monday Night Raw?
I thought it was good. I liked it. The crowd was hot. You have to give them that. I do disagree with the crowd because they booed when Bayley said next week we're going to wrestle in the greatest arena, and they were all booing. But Madison Square Gardens is the greatest arena.
The Mecca.
Here's the question, though, and we'll get to that. Were they booing the fact that she called it the most famous arena, or were they booing that she was challenging the women's tag team champions to a match next week instead of maybe it happening there last night or happening at WrestleMania? Because sometimes fans will boo because they want it right then and there. I kind of took it as, they want to see this at WrestleMania, which I'm like, why? But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Start off the show with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman with Oba Femi. Oba Femi once again having his way with Brock Lesnar, and I want to actually let's stop this completely. I want to start the show by sending my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Dennis Condrey, who passed away, a legend within professional wrestling, at least in my opinion. I will call him a legend with the Midnight Express. Bob, do you have any personal memories?
Oh, geez. You put me on the spot. I have a personal memory, but no one's going to like it. I wrestled Dennis Condrey in '88 when he was the Midnight Express with Randy Rose, who was awesome. Dennis Condrey was not a nice guy. He treated people like me like shit, and he stiffed me in the match throughout. And I get it. Maybe that's just the way he works. But guess who didn't? His partner, Randy. And I'm sorry he's gone, but that's my personal experience. The guy was not nice to me or my partner, Mike Thor, who Robbie knows.
Well,
so
Fans, you know what? I keep on saying that we at Get Your Mail Wrong, we are very honest people. And, sometimes when you have men like yourself and Robbie who are in the industry who wrestle those type of people, and then, you guys have personal experiences versus fans like myself, never met the guy. You just know what you see on TV. And, I consider him a legend because of what he did in the business. Robbie, what about you? Did you ever have any?
No, I never met him or any stuff, so I never had any dealings with him.
Right.
Hey, I'm not disputing the fact that he's a legend and he made his mark in wrestling. Him and Bobby Eaton, Midnight Express, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and as well as Stan Lane and Bobby, and all the incarnations of it. I'm just telling you what my experience was. The only time I ever met him was that time, and maybe he just was in a bad mood that night. And he figured, hey, I'll take it out on the pale white guy.
You know what? I appreciate your honesty.
And I'm thinking, why didn't you take it out of Mike? He was paler than me.
Nonetheless, again, my condolences does absolutely go out to his friends and family. Back to Monday Night Raw. Again, Oba Femi having his way with Brock Lesnar. Over the weeks before Oba Femi came into this picture where it looks like, we know it's heading to WrestleMania. There's a lot of fans that were saying that, Brock Lesnar wasn't willing to sell for Oba, and that's why we hadn't seen, Oba Femi answer a challenge yet, blah, blah, blah. I am so glad that these dumbass fans were proven wrong because, look, Brock has absolutely been making Oba look like $1 million, in my opinion. Bob, we'll start with you, man, about the segment and your thoughts on it.
Well, I thought it was good. The one thing I noticed was that Brock is slightly bigger than Oba, whatever. But
yeah.
But it's going to be the give and take week after week. I mean, last week, what happened in the end of the show, and this week, what happened at the end of the show. It's give and take. Brock will get his,
Right.
What do you call it? Revenge.
Yep. Did his upcomings. Robbie.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fine. It was good. Brock sold for him well. So, and the surprised look on his face and all that, it was good.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish it was Brock and him, not Heyman. Because when Brock came back without Heyman that time, and he was so good on the mic, so much more entertaining. He seemed to be, in his element at that point. Now he's back to just playing the, deaf, dumb, and not blind.
Let me tell you why I think Paul Heyman is back with him is because I honestly believe that we are seeing one of the last few matches before Brock retires. And I think that they're giving us what we've been accustomed to all these years, Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. Of course, there's the rumors going around that SummerSlam is going to be his last match. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do think that he is winding his career down. Now, this match is going to happen at WrestleMania, Robbie. I'm going to be honest with you. If they have Brock Lesnar go over, I personally think that this all for nothing. Why even have this match if you're going to not pass the torch to Oba Femi? After all, isn't this what this is all about? Or am I way off? No, it's just about having a good match, Robbie.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you want a good match, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. If you do put Brock over Oba, I think you're going to kill his momentum. It makes no sense then why you would kill his momentum. I mean, you put Oba over, that just gives him more momentum, but hopefully down the road, creative just doesn't screw up with them like they've done with some of their other big guys they try to push.
Yep. What about Bob? Does it matter who wins or loses in this match? Is it all about just having a good match, or no? Does it? It does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. What matters is how it's done. If Brock wins, if it's done a certain way, perfect. If the other guy wins, perfect. It's got to be done a certain way. Now, again, whether that's going to come off in the boardroom, like we're going to do this for the finish, and how the finish comes off could be two different things. Because what's on paper sometimes is magic and turns out to be shit. And then something you go, well, let's just try it. It's not going to work. And it's Steve Austin right. 316. It's stuff like that. And I think because if Brock loses, you, along with everybody else, because you're sitting here saying it, well, it's all too predictable. Well, guess what? Brock wins, then you're going, well, they ruined the momentum, but I wasn't expecting it, damn it. So what do you want? Do you want predictability? Do you want originality? Do you want spontaneity? What do you want? I want a ring rat personally, but what do you want?
Very rarely do I say something is predictable, Bob Cook. Terry says, KG, sorry you didn't get your WrestleMania moment. I'm confused about that, Terry.
Yeah, I was too.
Says, I would love to see this as a draw.
What he means is your WrestleMania moment watching a pay-per-view with the cooker, like Robbie Idol did many times for years with great Jay Goodley and Nick, and who else used to come? Robert.
Okay. Well,
that's your WrestleMania moment.
Next year, because it looks like we're going to be living only a few miles from the cooker, that I'll get to have a WrestleMania moment with Bob Cook, and maybe Robbie will drive the hike to the house to watch WrestleMania with us as well. About an hour and a half from about 3 hours from me, Robbie.
Yeah, we're only like 15 minutes from Dunallen, whatever the hell it's called.
Yep. Next, guys, we go to a tag team match. The Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory against the Usos. This match ended via disqualification because what do you call those things?
The brass knuckles.
Yeah, the brass knuckles came into play, and Jey Uso used them right in front of the referee, causing the disqualification. Man, what are they doing with the Usos? Are they planning on turning these guys heels? Are they just baby faces have just become very aggressive? I don't know in which direction they're going with these guys, but I like it because it keeps me guessing. I really like what they're doing right now for myself. Overall, I mean, I thought it was a good match. Robbie?
Yeah, I like the match. Truthfully, I'm not invested in the Usos.
What? I thought you'd like big tattooed freaks.
I mean, Theory and Logan look good. So you kind of hope they put them over next week. That'd be I would like to see them. What I would have liked to see when Tom Brady threw the ball at Logan Paul and punched Brady in the face, that would have really made my night. Just to knock that asshole on his ass would have been great because I can't stand Tom Brady.
Have you seen the Tom Brady roast on Netflix though? Freaking hilarious.
I agree.
Nikki Glacier, my God.
Tom Brady.
It don't matter. It's you're roasting the guy. They hate. Right. They're putting hate on the guy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. I agree. Terry's talking about my WrestleMania moment. Oh, that's right. I answered Brock Lesnar's challenge. I was really stepping in the ring with him. I'd get my ass kicked for that money, 100%. Although I got to be honest, as soon as he stepped towards me, as soon as we locked up, I would just fall down. I would be done.
But there's one thing you learned this week though. If your neighbor is Jack Reacher, don't mess with the man.
Yeah, you guys seen that video?
That's awesome. That was awesome. Well, that guy's a monster anyways. I mean, Jesus, why would you?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Bob, your thoughts on this match and, kind of what they're doing with the Usos in the storylines?
I almost think the Usos they're playing them off just kind of they're just emotional guys, They're just emotional, and depending on who's in their face, they're going to react to it. And for one thing, the 2 punches with the brass knuckles were great, which is, pretty rare. When you can't punch very well without brass knuckles, you got brass knuckles, and it looks good. Yeah, it could all be camera angles and whatever, but it still looked great.
Yep. I agree. Like I said, I like the match. Next, guys, we go backstage to Asuka and Kairi Sane and Io Sky. Asuka berates. Oh, hold on. What happened here? Way out of. They haven't had their match yet, so we'll skip that until we do their match. I'm not sure why I need to stop using the internet for my matches.
Chat GPT.
No, I don't use Chat GPT because you got to pay money for it.
What? I don't. What are you talking about?
Oh, I just use Google. I go to Google. Actually, I've been using 411 Mania. And yeah, they haven't been doing a very good job. So we'll call this in the order that I have it. Next, we'll go to a singles match. Javon Evans against Grayson Waller with Kofi Kingston. This match was crazy. Javon Evans, he was doing things that I'm surprised WWE allowed him to do because there was some pretty risky shit that he did. There was this one dive he did onto the through the ropes onto the floor that he landed directly on his face and bit his neck. But good match. I was surprised how good this match was. You forget how good Grayson Waller can be in the ring when he actually wrestles. Bob, your thought on this match?
No, it was a good match. I want to go back to something you mentioned about you can't believe WWE would let that kid do something. Now, you remember last week or the week before, Logan Paul was challenging football players to boxing matches, and supposedly the WWE shut it down, so you can't do that. But yeah, he's going to let him go out there and play football. Well, granted, it's flag football, but you could get hurt doing that crap. Yeah. If you're worried about him doing something away from the business to get hurt. But then if you watch his YouTube channel, him and his brother are nuts anyways, playing on their SUVs and their all their ATVs and all their crazy stuff. So I don't know. Right. A lot of that could all been just hype anyways. They're all in on the joke because they want to get Tom Brady involved in the show somehow.
True, which I'm expecting. Here's my question. This is for both of you guys. Let's talk about Tom Brady for a second. There was all this back and forth, Tom Brady talking shit about professional wrestling. Do you really think that this was truly on, Tom Brady doing this, or was this a work? Was this something to plant seeds to get him into WrestleMania somehow? Bob, I'll let you answer, then we'll go to you, Robbie.
When it comes, when it comes to wrestling, you just never know. I mean, it could have been something that went viral, as they say, because Logan Paul has a huge following on YouTube and across the interwebs. Right. And it took all the news channels picked it up, ESPN, blah, blah, sports, so they all picked it up. And they just ran with it, and they reached out to Brady and went, hey, man, this is taking fire. You want to be part of WrestleMania? And the guy's probably a a wrestling fan, and most people are now. You know, sports guys respect the business.
Right.
And he, you know, who knows? Or it could have all been planned. You know, one thing about Tom Brady though, his wife was gorgeous, but she was a whore. Oh, I said that live on the air. I mean, she did cheat on him with his trainer, right? So let's see.
I guess I don't.
Sorry, I went back there. You watched the roast, didn't you? They made fun of it on the roast.
Robbie, actually, they did. You're right, Robbie. What about you, man? Do you think that
you can beep that out?
This is something. Yeah, you know I don't edit shit. Do you think this is something that WWE has been behind in order to invoke Tom Brady into WrestleMania?
Probably. I mean, you know, you look at all the celebrities they bring in. I mean, like the guy that was on last night. I mean,
yeah, the kid. Who is he?
I have no idea who he is. You know, because I don't listen to that kind of music. But you know, but you see, they bring in those people. So I mean, it's anything to get more viewership.
Right.
So more than likely, it's a work. You know.
Yeah. I mean, isn't Tom Brady? I don't know, what is he? Football player, right?
Yeah.
So he's a legend in football, I would imagine, right? Wasn't he like a quarterback, great quarterback, one of the best of all time? So it's going to draw huge interest, whether positive or negative. You know, interest is interest. Right. And this other kid, I don't know who this kid is, this speed guy, but he's got over 100 million followers. So, you know, he's doing something right.
So let me remind you who this iSpeed. First, he is affiliated with Logan Paul. Secondly, he's the one that took that nasty freaking hit from
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. I mean, it was just
it was awesome.
This spear got like millions of hits online just because of just how brutal it looked.
I think it was hundreds of millions of hits.
Yeah, it was great. Terry agrees. Terry says Tom Brady will be at WrestleMania.
Oh, is he going to bring that wife?
Now we had Asuka and Kerry Zane went against help me out with their names here.
Bailey and Lycaria.
Yes, Bailey and Laura Vaquera. And Bailey Vaquera won the match. And then after the match, we talked about it. They challenged the tag team champs for the title match next week at Madison Square Garden. That's where this backstage segment comes in with Asuka blaming Kairi for the loss. And Asuka saying, "You need to make this up to me." She walks off. Io Sky enters, telling Kairi, you know, why you dealing with this? They're talking, and then that has Asuka calling for Kairi Zane. And then Raquel enters in, leading to some words between Io Sky and Raquel, which ends up into Raquel challenged Io Sky. Io accepted, and it was announced later that the match will also happen next week. Guys, this backstage segment, your thoughts on it, and what's your thoughts on this match between Io and Raquel next week? Do you guys even care, to be honest? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't care. This is a match that I am just not invested in at all, because I'm not invested in Io Sky or Raquel. Robbie?
I like Io. I'm just, I guess they're whatever. But I have you're going to probably wind up putting Io over, or if Raquel goes over, there'll be some kind of interference, or what they may do is set it up where Liv comes running in, and then out comes Stephanie, and you set up a tag team match.
Right.
I could see that. But you also, you missed a segment.
No, go ahead.
You don't. You might not care about it, but it was the Becky Lynch and AJ Lee's.
Nope, we haven't got there yet. We'll get there.
Because that was before all this.
Yeah, like I said, my notes are out of order because 411 Mania was out of order.
Okay.
So we'll get there.
Okay.
You're out of order. No, you're out of order.
Bob, or Robbie, what did you think about the match though between the Kabuki Warriors and?
It was all right. Yeah. It was all right. You kind of knew the way they were talking. I know you guys said I figured that match, that when Bailey and Lycaria won, that it was going to be a WrestleMania match. just
Right.
the way that they kept saying Bailey with her WrestleMania moment and stuff. So when they won, I figured that it was a WrestleMania match, but I guess it's next week.
Yeah. Terry says he doesn't care. He's never invested in it. I agree. I'll be honest with you. When Bailey took that bump outside that led to them actually winning, for a moment, just the expression she had in her face, I was almost expecting her to turn on Valkyria, to be honest with you. I really was. Bob, your thoughts on that match? And do you care about this tag team match next week that, for the belts?
Is it a street fight, isn't it?
No, that's not.
Or is that something else? Okay.
That's something
I
else,
I get confused.
Yeah.
No, but no, it was an okay match. I like Lyra.
Yeah.
I could care less about the rest of them though, but that's just me.
But when Bailey did that elbow on the table,
Yep.
you wonder if she actually hurt her elbow.
Dude, that was a nasty bump.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at first. I was waiting to see if she would hesitate to get up or not. She seemed to be fine though.
I'm sure that it hurt her elbow, but it didn't hurt her elbow. If you know what I mean.
Oh man.
Because stuff hurts, but you don't get injured.
Right.
There's a difference,
Right.
You go, oh shit! Then later today, you're like, oh, I'm okay.
I don't know. It seems like when it comes to Bailey, and I'm only speaking for myself, it doesn't matter what they try to do with her. I'm just not overly invested into anything they do with Bailey.
I know why. The reason is because she's been there forever. She's a Natalia type. She's been there forever. You got people like Sol Rook and Tiffany Stratton and all these other up and coming young wrestlers. How could you invest in the old ones?
Yeah, and I agree. But at the same time, Bailey still has those little girls that love her, and they are getting their moms and dads to spend money on her product. I'm sure that has something to do with why.
Probably.
I mean, it's not like that Bailey's not talented. I mean, I think that she's talented in the ring. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing her not taking off just for 2 or 3 weeks and coming back talking to her fucking self. I mean, taking off of TV for a good 6 months and coming back with a new character completely.
Yeah. Tony? Yeah, this is Bob Cook. How you doing? Yeah, I watch AEW. Shut up. Don't worry about it. You got a spot for Bailey, like permanently? I don't blame you. All right, I'll talk to you later. He don't want her either, so jeez.
Oh. Next we go.
And he'll take anybody. Kyle will take anybody. If you won't take Bailey, no one will. Come on. We're stuck with her.
I don't know, man. I like AEW. I've been liking AEW a little bit more lately than I've been watching. I've been liking WWE as far as their matches. But that's another segment, another show. Next, we have Danhausen, and Robin will get to Becky Lynch.
That's all right.
Yep. Danhausen and I Show Speed is a segment sees Danhausen trying to get I Show Speed's phone password to start a show. Speed refuses. Danhausen curses him, and Speed completely freaks out. Look, you know how I am about stupid, cheesy shit in professional wrestling. Not my thing, but I don't know. This Danhausen thing, it's been striking my funny bone a little bit.
Just admit it. You like Danhausen.
Well, what's funny about it was I did not like him in AEW. I couldn't stand the segments in AEW with him. I thought it was just too fucking stupid. It's been working in WWE, but I think it's because it's been kept as a backstage segment instead of him being involved in some storylines that's supposed to be meaningful, and they have this dumb shit. Nope, they've kept it completely separate. Robbie?
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I actually think the guy's funny. I didn't care for in AEW. I didn't care for him, but I actually think he's hysterical here at WWE. And maybe if they keep this segment short like that and stuff, then he probably won't. They won't burn him out.
Right. Bob, you're a fan of Danhausen?
Yeah, I've said I like Danhausen, the character outside of wrestling. When it's in the context of wrestling, it makes a mockery of the business. But as the character, I watch his YouTube channel where he's just going around to toy stores and in character, and it's hilarious interacting with people.
And you know what? I think you hit the nail on the head for me. I think what it is when he's doing it backstage, they're treating it as they're kind of rolling their eyes at this kid that somehow got his way into WWE backstage and he's interacting with people, and they're not treating it like it's reality as this big important storyline. Yet, I hope they don't go there though. Next is where Robbie was talking about Becky Lynch, AJ Lee. Guys, I'm about to shock you guys because I've been critical of Becky Lynch. And this whole storyline between her and AJ Lee. Last night, I actually found myself agreeing with what Becky Lynch was saying. Because she talked about how, she's been there. She's even taken a title that may not have seemed to be that important and took it as being important. And then all of a sudden, AJ Lee just walks on in after being gone for so long. I'm like, she's kind of fucking right here. I've cooled off on AJ Lee, to be honest with you. Something about her is just, I don't know. I'm not able to invest into the AJ Lee gimmick right now. I don't know if it's because, she's older than what she was way back in the day, but she's still trying to be that younger version of AJ Lee, and it's just coming across as stale to me. I don't know, but I'm not as invested, and I'm still not that invested in the storyline to begin with. But again, last night, I'm like, I gotta see where Becky Lynch is coming from, Bob. Now, let's remove their looks, Bob, for a moment.
Oh, jeez.
Purely what's happening, the storyline. Where are you at with all of this?
If you want to go from that perspective only, and it's very hard for me with AJ's abs and stuff, but I have no care whatsoever in it. AJ, the way she delivers her lines just seems And Becky, she's annoying. I'm sure it'll be a good match. Their other match was good, but give someone else a shot at the title at WrestleMania. But then you got to find a spot for Becky. I don't know what to say.
Right.
I put Soruk in every match if I was them.
Because you're a friend of mine, Bob. 30 seconds for you to go on and on about AJ Lee and how much you love her abs. Go ahead.
Fantastic abs. Well, the rest of her too. I don't know. What can I say? She's a good-looking woman. She's got a great body. She's in shape, and she's what, almost 40? You have to commend that. Is that what the word is? Commend, not condemn, commend. Because there's a lot of women on the roster who can't say the same. Okay, not a lot. Nia Jax, but
I knew that was coming. Robbie, man. Where you at with this whole storyline with them? And did that promo Becky Lynch cut last night? Did that kind of make AJ kind of look a little like, you kind of see where she's coming from?
Yeah, and I mean, she, the promo kind of put her in her place. I mean, like, I guess losing the last time she was at WrestleMania or whatever and then resigned. The only thing I wish that, and I don't know who's doing it, creative, Becky, whatever, I'm not the only one that says it. That shit's got to go. That shit's so old.
Oh, yeah.
That it's just, you've used that so many times, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah. But the thing that Becky said that resonated with me was this. Becky came in and said, you know what? I basically put your terrible era, AJ Lee, in its coffin, right? The era that you belong in with the goddamn
Bellas.
The Bellas,
hey.
Right? And I'm like, she's not wrong. I had to agree that, that's an era of professional wrestling for women that I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you. You want to talk about making a mockery of professional wrestling? That was it. In the women's
Kelly, Mickey James, Trish Stratus. What are you, nuts?
I'm talking, though, I'm talking purely from the athletic sports side of professional wrestling.
Yeah, but Becky's one of those people. I mean, Charlotte Flair's another one that definitely took it out of that Divas because of their athletic.
So did Sasha Banks. Give her credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they took it away, that they actually could work instead of,
it's really not them taking it away. It's them allowing them to take it away. The other girls were just doing what they were told. It's not like the other girls went, "Hey, Vince, can we have a mud wrestling match in our bikinis?"
Oh, no, I know that, but you couldn't say that.
Right.
Bella's, Kelly, a lot. I mean, other than your Lita and
Kelly,
and a couple others could do what Charlotte and some of the stuff that even nowadays like Sol Ruka or Tiffany Stratton or one, those from back in the day, they couldn't do this stuff they're doing.
Well, right, because look, we had the glimpse. We had Jazz. She absolutely was ahead of her time. She fit more into today's era of women's professional wrestling. Lita, even Trish. I'll even give Trish that, right? Because she was extremely athletic and she could do the stuff. But I'm sorry, a lot of your other women, your Kellys, they just couldn't. And I kind of got what Becky was saying. To me, the way I perceived it was Becky was saying, look, we've made women's professional wrestling something that people want to pay to see now. We put professional wrestling back on the map. Here's AJ Lee coming back with her skipping and her shit that she's doing, wanting to take professional wrestling back to that era. That's how I perceive that promo. And I'm like, I agree with that. Because AJ came to a huge ovation, and then she challenged Becky Lynch to a match at WrestleMania 42, which, why did she have to challenge her? We knew that this was going, so why did it have to be a big production of, I want to challenge you to the match? I don't know. But that's the match we're going to have. But I will disagree with Bob. We said the first match that they had was a great match.
I didn't say great. It was good.
But even a good match. I don't know, man. It seemed like, two women that could go in the ring. Seems like they didn't make great dance partners, Robbie.
Yeah, it was an okay match. I won't say it was good or great, but it was an okay match.
Was also AJ's first singles match back in match back in 10 years. And then one thing they fail to mention is that where she says you went home or whatever, she had a neck injury, right? So she had to quit.
I don't know.
If I remember right. Pretty sure. That's why she quit. She was having neck problems.
Yeah, I don't remember.
She didn't just go, I'm quitting, and go home like her husband did.
I'm gonna look into that because I don't know. I
don't remember.
Now the big question is, are you guys looking forward to this match at WrestleMania? Bob, start with you, then go to Robbie.
Yes.
Robbie?
Not really.
That's where I'm at too. I want them to move on. To be honest with you, this storyline between the two has been going on long enough, and there's some other matches I would like to see that either one of these women can be in.
They need to spice it up and throw Sol Ruka in the match just to make it.
And but how will they fit her in there, Bob?
Well, there's a will, there's a way, as they say, and she can win the match with her Soul Taker. Isn't that what they call it?
Yep. Incredible. It's a crazy finish. Next, we go with this whole first is going backstage where Paul Heyman meets up with Raw's general manager, and he's basically told, go to the ring. You wanted to address Seth Rollins, so there you go. This happens. Calling Seth Rollins out. Of course, the police are out there because apparently earlier in the day, which was explained by color commentary, Paul Heyman had got a restraining order against Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins apparently didn't know And because he didn't know, he came out, he hit Paul Heyman, which led to his arrest. This, sorry guys, was fucking stupid. Because number one, how could he not know about restraining order? The restraining order doesn't go into effect until you're notified, number one.
I was gonna say, yeah, can you do that? Because if you can, I want to have one against Roberto because he called me a sorry ass excuse for a father and different things. And
I just thought this was ridiculous. Bob,
it was stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Robbie.
I actually liked it. So.
Now that's good. We're definitely getting that restraining order. Where's my phone? Can you do it over the phone? Where's Grady Judge when I need him? Robbie knows who Grady Judge.
I thought it was funny. I got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I think what's stupid is why did Seth come wearing a mask? We all know. I mean,
right. That's something else.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he still
Two
wearing
masks.
a goddamn mask?
Is he planning for nuclear holocaust? Because we all should.
You know, but did you kind of hope it's the black? But did Seth kind of not like look small?
It's the black.
Yeah.
But if he has the shoulder energy, maybe he's not able to do as much.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I forgot about the shoulder injury. If he has the shoulder injury, he might not be able to work out.
My left shoulder is screwed up, and I work out, but I got to use really lightweight with even dumbbell curls because it screws my shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot.
This thing was just ridiculous to me. I mean, where are they going to go with this? You know, are they going to put Paul Heyman in a pair of wrestling trunks?
Oh God, no!
In the fucking match against. I mean, where are they fucking going with this? I've read reports online, and of course, it's nothing confirmed. It's just a bunch of hearsay that Paul Heyman was supposed to be introducing someone new to the Vision because there was other two guys going out. And the way Paul Heyman was talking last night, I was expecting there to be some shocking introduction of somebody. Didn't happen. But yeah, I want to know where are they going to go with this? I don't know where they could go with this because you have Logan Paul, you have his other guy in a tag team, Matt, partnering together. They're locked in the storyline with the Usos. I imagine that my prediction is next week we're going to see Logan Paul and what's his partner's name again? Austin Theory win the tag team belts only for there to be a rematch at WrestleMania. That's what I'm expecting, to be honest with you. And if that happens, again, there's nobody else in the Vision unless Brian Breaker is or Bronson Reed is able to come. They're expecting them to come back much earlier than what they're saying, and we're going to be surprised with one of those guys to get Seth Rollins, which I don't see happening. So again, I just don't know where they're going with this at all. Robbie, any idea?
No, I mean, hard to say what they're trying to do between Heyman and Seth.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if you thought, like you said, supposed to bring somebody in, who are you going to bring in? I mean, that would make sense,
right?
There's even if you were going to do a call up from NXT, nobody makes sense.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. No one.
Yeah,
they're going to keep with the Braun trail and train and bring in Braun Strowman.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll bring in either Rick or Scott Steiner.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, if they were going to do something, and I would hope they don't go this route, because I'm not a fan of either one of the guys from NXT, but it would kind of make sense because of the way their makeup is, would be you may bring up Ethan Page or Ricky Saints.
But how would that fit into the current storyline?
That I don't know, but I'm just saying is, but if you they're the arrogance out of those two,
right.
that it would, you'd have to, how it makes sense, I don't know. But
Yeah.
But creative has done a lot of crazy things.
Right. I'm going to be honest. Both of you guys are skipping someone, and I'm surprised considering that you guys are veterans, and I'm just a fan here. But you know what? I guess it's starting to show wrestling intelligence. You guys have not mentioned, and you're completely skipping over the fact that I think that John Moxley is going to be brought in.
A fake John Moxley, like fake Diesel.
No, you know what?
I
say that being goofy, being silly, but something crossed my head, crossed my mind when I said this. Would there be a way of fitting Chris Jericho into this?
No.
Not to try to get this whole Chris Jericho shit going again, but I'm just, just kind of trying to think outside the box here. Because Chris Jericho is a Paul Heyman guy.
I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
As long as I don't put Dom in there, I'll be all right.
Well, speaking of Dom, what a great way for the next segment. Let's talk about, and guys, I apologize. I know there's a couple of things I'm probably skipping over. I know that there's a backstage segment before this match with the IC champ, talk about Penta. That's all it was. It was not even worth talking about unless you guys want to go into detail about it.
We're trying to walk with the speed guy?
Yeah, exactly. Then, we have Penta versus Dominic for this rematch for the IC title. Now, the best thing about this match, in my opinion, was when Dom was walking to the ring with Liv Morgan, and out of nowhere, Stephanie Vaquer attacks Liv Morgan. Dude, this was the best action outside of the ring as far as attacks of the night. Did you guys catch Liv Morgan throw Stephanie Vaquer into the whatever they call it, the screen?
Right.
I mean, dude, I don't know if that was a receipt for something, but little Liv Morgan picked Stephanie up and she literally really tossed her ass in there, or at least it looked like it. I'm like, holy shit, Liv is not fucking around. This was great. They looked like they really were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, right. I think maybe that first attack could look like it could have gave Liv whiplash, So the whole thing looked good, whether they were being stiff or not. I don't know, but it looked good.
But Liv got a receipt, though. Did you see it when they were in the gorilla?
Yeah.
And Stephanie picked her up and drove her into
yeah.
Over and over again, actually.
That was good stuff.
I loved it because it wasn't your norm. Speaking of, Natty Hart and
Maxine
with the type shit. No, that was none of this shit. Liv and Stephanie they looked like they truly hated each other. So I give, you know what? Fuck the match of the night. This was the action of the night. This 30 seconds right here deserves the award of the night, in my opinion. Robbie,
your
thoughts on this?
I agree with you because all of it looked good. It's like when Stephanie attacked Liv in the beginning, that looked pretty stiff. The throw into the Jumbotron or whatever you want to call it. And then the backstage, it was Stephanie driving her into the ground and stuff. I mean, it looked good. I mean, yeah, definitely. That was, probably one of the highlights of the evening.
Yeah. Bob?
I agree. And they're wrestling at WrestleMania, right? So it makes sense to show intensity and, I guess, hate towards each other. But, yeah, it was a really good segment. Not a lot of patty cake stuff like some of the women do.
Now, I even love the punch that Stephanie gave Dom. That looked great to me.
Yeah.
In fact, when I seen it, I'm like, I bet you Bob's standing up applauding her because that looked like a good punch, Bob.
Yep, it did, yeah. A lot of the punches last night, like guys were trying harder. I don't know what it was, but
until we got to this match, because the punches, in my opinion, I was thinking about you all night. I was like, Bob's probably throwing tomatoes at his TV right now.
I don't eat tomatoes.
Which makes it even more sense why you'd be throwing them at the TV.
Well, me having them in the house wouldn't make no sense.
Dom, of course, going against Penta. Now, I will say this. This match, in my opinion, was better than the first match they had. They looked like they were better dance partners, if you will, last night. Nonetheless, this isn't a match that I was screaming more. I want more.
No Billy Idol stuff, huh?
No.
In the midnight hour.
Finn Balor comes in, takes out McDonough, and then gets his hands on Dominic. Now we know this is going to end up in a match at WrestleMania. Bob, I can already predict what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What do you think about this match? And
I'd say it probably was like dance partners because they were moving in slow motion. Dom's intensity is just frightening for a guy his age. I don't know. Or lack of intensity, I should say.
What do you think about this match? And do you guys think that they're going to be bringing in someone else for Judgment Day, or are we just going to see Judgment Day just completely deteriorate? Robbie?
You kind of hope that you'd see the Judgment Day deteriorate.
No, I disagree. It depends. I still say that I'm not saying that it would lead to, amazing matches, but I think that it would lead to a good storyline if you had Dom and Ray come back together, except as Ray is a heel leading Judgment Day. I think that'd be very interesting, just because in my entire experience with Rey Mysterio Jr., and maybe you guys can remind me of something, I personally don't ever remember seeing Rey Mysterio as a heel, ever. I'm not saying he wasn't ever a heel. I'm saying I don't remember him ever being a heel. So I think him doing a heel run as part of Judgment Day is kind of their leader. That way you keep Rey in the spotlight at times without having him wrestle all the time. I think that could be interesting. Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, and I think when she gets healthy, I mean, I'd rather see Roxanne Perez in there more so than Raquel, because I think her and Liv, like being a tag team and stuff, just match up a little bit better because they're both the same size and stuff and kind of have the same similar wrestling ability and stuff. Mm-hmm. As far as the match, I have to agree with Bob. I mean, Dom just moves slow motion, whatever, but it's like you could see there was a couple spots that were just off.
Right.
I don't know.
This is the thing.
Who it is, if it's Dom that was off on those spots or, Penta, but it just did not flow with the match.
So this is the thing for me. And I am not a guy that's going to shit on any talent because I don't have the right to, because I couldn't put on a pair of boots and last 30 seconds in the ring. But I will say this much. What's going on with Penta right now? Penta looks like a fish out of water at times, but I think it's because of my favorite word to use, he's been WWE-nized, where he is going from being that high risk taker like he was AEW and all the other promotions in, to being that a good bit of his matches is mat wrestling. I don't know if he's really accustomed to that or not. And because of that, I think he has slowed down a lot, which I don't think that it's bad. I think it's more of those of us who are fans of Penta aren't used to seeing that side of Penta, so it's coming off as just looking awkward or weird, if you know what I'm saying, Robbie.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, it just, like I said, there was a couple spots, a couple things that were ran just like seemed very off.
Yeah. I mean, Bob, were you very familiar with Penta before he entered WWE?
Well, I watched. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he was in Lucha Underground, I believe.
Yeah, he was.
There's some great stuff there.
So, do you agree that it's not that Penta is necessarily bad? It's just for those of us who are used to what we've seen out of Penta, it just looks weird or off. We're not used to that side of Penta yet.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do agree, though. I think it's been announced. Maybe I'm just dreaming, but that Ray is going to be winding up his career soon, right? So
Yeah.
you think it'd be, from his perspective, it'd be cool to team up with Dom as a heel,
Right.
in the last days of his run, and then they could turn him both baby faces at the end or stuff they want to make it, the feel good story or whatever. But as a father who's never teamed up with his son, me, and I was supposed to team up a few months ago before I had that heart attack. But it would have meant a lot to me to do that in our little, circle of wrestling. Can imagine what it'd be like to be on the big stage and do that. I think it'd be great. Ray could embrace the heel side. He's probably an abusive father anyways in real life, so he probably could, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't write letters, folks. Oh, never mind. No one writes letters anymore.
You can write him letters. He don't know how to read, so.
I know how to write, though. I just tell Chat GPT what to say. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Terry says Dom sucks. Terry also says Pitta is great. I agree. I was a big fan of Pitta. I say was. I still am. I'm just not used to this side. I miss the Pitta of the old. I really do.
There's one thing about Penta, he makes a fantastic looking action figure. And by the way, who's going to buy a Danhausen figure when they come out? Me. I know I will. I know they already have some, but I'm talking about a Mattel Danhausen.
Right. Next, guys, let's go to. I get it. It's weird calling this the main event. Main event to me is a wrestling match. The main segment of the night.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and the Usos. CM Punk comes out and cuts a promo talking about how, there's one thing Roman Reigns said that really pissed me off, was calling me old. He's like, but this is the thing. An old man knocked his ass down. He's got to see an old man beat him as well. And then he asks the fans, do you think I'm old? I'd laugh because the fans were like, yes. I don't know if that's what he was expecting, but he did say, I am old. And I'm proud of being old. Unlike Roman Reigns, who's full of oil and jizz now.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
What the actual fuck? I never thought that I'd be watching a segment of WWE, the PG family era, where jizz and oil would come out in one night.
All of a sudden, it's a P. Diddy fest.
Yeah. I'm like, what? And then, of course, Jey Uso comes out to confront Punk. Now, it's worth mentioning that on the way to the ring, CM Punk passes by Big Jim, and Jim, who says, just want to let you know my brother is on the warpath. You better be careful. I'm not sure exactly what CM Punk mumbled to him, to be honest with you. I missed it. He said something. But then Jay comes to the ring, and Jay looks like, he's going to kick CM Punk's ass. And then Jimmy says something to, Jay, and Jay says, basically, where is Roman Reigns? And Roman Reigns' music hits. Roman Reigns comes out and orders the Usos to leave. Now, I enjoyed this segment because there were things that happened that fooled me. For instance, as soon as he ordered the Usos to leave, I'm like, all right, here we come. Now we're going to see the Usos back on the side of CM Punk because the Usos won't take me and ordered around, and they're going to, they're going to cause issues with Roman Reigns, and they're going to hit him or something. Nope. The Usos actually were kind of being exactly what CM Punk was calling them, young boys, answering to their leader, licking the boots, if you will, of Roman Reigns, saying, okay. But as they were leaving, there was Jim yelling at Roman Reigns. And I don't know if you caught this, but he didn't say Roman. He said Joe.
Yeah.
To bring more realism to it. You know what to do. And he did. He beat the snot out of CM Punk. Now, what else made me laugh? And it's like, I don't think the fans really love CM Punk as much as CM Punk thinks they love CM Punk. Was after he got his ass handed to him and drove through the announcer's table, the fans was screaming and chanting one more time. They wanted Roman Reigns to, do what they do, to hurt CM Punk, if you will, last night. Roman Reigns looked good in my opinion last night. He looked unhinged. Now the only thing that I'm concerned about is, although I think they've been kind of back together, not officially back together, I'm just concerned that we are really about to go to the official reunification of the bloodline, Bob Cook. If that happened, is that a good thing in your opinion? As a fan, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And what did you think about this segment in general?
Well, I thought it was a good segment. I think anytime a group that's really popular veers apart and then comes back together, at least in the beginning, it's very popular again, usually in the bloodline, like it or not, with some of the most entertaining segments in the history of wrestling in the last 10 years with Sami Zayn and the Usos and Roman. Remember when Sami, you're not feeling very Uso and Roman started laughing? I mean, that's some classic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I think they used Joe's name was when he announced he had leukemia.
Yeah.
That's the last time they said his real name.
If there's anybody that needs the bloodline to get back together, it's Sami Zayn.
Yeah, if they bring him back, what the hell?
Yep. Terry
but the
says,
Shield, if they ever brought the Shield back together, people would go ape a shit.
By the way, well, let me say, Terry says Jay interfering at WrestleMania cost Roman Reigns title. That'd be interesting. Last night, let's go back to Brock Lesnar for a second. This is the first time this gentleman's name has been mentioned.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Brock, did we?
We did. The beginning of the segment.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was the first segment.
But something that's over that I want to mention was WWE has pretty much blacklisted this guy where they don't even mention his name is not allowed to be mentioned. Or at least that's what's been said. And they haven't until last night when Paul Heyman mentioned Dean Ambrose. Now, the fans, man, they were all like, oh, wow, yee. I thought that was a little funny. Anyway, Robbie, your thoughts on this segment, man?
It wasn't bad. I mean, I liked it. It was all right. And just, seeing Punk get destroyed, that was kind of good, So just... Yeah. But what it does do, if you think about it, okay, so now if they're going to go back and forth, they're kind of not giving away who's going over it in WrestleMania. So last week you had Punk throw the punch and drop them. This week you had Roman unhinged and going. So now if Punk goes and does something next week, I mean, if they go this back and forth, now you're kind of like, okay, is Punk keeping the title? Are we putting the title on Roman? So, I mean, if they keep you guessing, it'd be a good thing.
So, this is now, and I like this a lot last night. This is my negative side of it last night. And Bob brought this kind of up in the beginning, and I agree with him. It kind of ended the same way it's been ending the past 2 weeks. And on top of that, we still have 3 weeks before WrestleMania. There's only so many segments like this before it gets monotonous, before it's old, in my opinion. Unless, of course, they could do something new with the bloodline to make things more interesting with this whole thing happening. Bob? Do you agree with that, man? Like, do we need to have a couple of weeks of a break between these two so it doesn't get to be old and monotonous?
I don't know, but they'll probably have a pull apart before then, and then Adam Pearce will come out and make one of those, you can't touch each other until WrestleMania, then they'll tease touching each other, stuff like that. Try to entice this guy to punch me and break the rule. You'll be out of the match if you touch it before, you know what I mean?
What I'm a bit surprised about is that Adam Pearce has not made a tag team match. The Usos with Roman Reigns against CM Punk and whomever. Because we often see that. With them teasing with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, kind of touch each other a little bit, but then getting tagged out for whatever reason, not really seeing them tie in. Robbie, do you think we're going to see that before WrestleMania, man?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I'm not sure who. Well, you would put Punk and LA Knight. LA Knight would be one of the other ones. Not sure who the other guy you would throw in, but because the way that you watched the segment last night.
Yes, and I was about to get into that.
So
yes.
You had the segment with LA Knight and Jimmy, and LA telling him he sounds like Roman Reigns, so that would make sense to put LA Knight with Punk. I'm just not sure who the third person would be. You just have to kind of figure out who they're kind of feuding with or whatever.
Seth Rollins.
Well, I was going to say Seth, but I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah, but what makes sense right now?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It wouldn't make sense. I mean, because of the feud with Heyman.
Right.
You know?
Bob, you think we're going to see this tag match? And Bob, you are now the guy taking the place of Road Dogg, Jesse James, in creative.
Oh, no.
They have said, Bob Cook, we want you to have a match with Roman Reigns and his cousins, the Usos, tagging against CM Punk and two other guys. But this is the thing, Bob. You need to figure out two guys to be with CM Punk and make it make sense of why these guys would be tagging with him against Roman Reigns and the Usos before WrestleMania. Now, we can't have it be Logan Paul and his partner, Robbie, his name again, God damn it.
Austin Theory,
because they're heels. It has to be two baby faces. Bob, you're the mission now.
Oh,
who are the two guys?
Cody Rhodes, just sticking up for Punk, and who else? Because, Cody and Roman have their attention. And I don't know, I'm trying to think. Jacob Fatu? No, he can't do it. He's feuding with. You notice they've been having a lot, 2 weeks in a row, blood on the shows, which is nice.
Yeah.
And cussing. They said the word shit last night.
Yeah. I think LA Knight would be your guy that you're.
There you go. Yeah, LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight and Cody.
Yeah. Good call with Cody Rhodes. 100%. Because Cody has a relationship. Would make it interesting because Cody does have the relationship with the Usos. But he also has a relationship with CM Punk. But, of course, now Cody Rhodes is busy with the whole Randy Orton.
Yeah, well.
And
Jericho.
Wrap up this podcast because that's pretty much Raw last night. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Bob, what are your thoughts about what's going on, how they are booking and writing for this feud between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton?
I don't actually watch SmackDown. I catch the clips, and then sometimes I don't even finish watching them. But yeah, obviously they try to make Randy the heel, but I don't know how well that's working out for him.
It's not at all. Actually, Cody was getting booed.
Isn't the big question who's Randy's mentor?
Do you think it was a good idea turning Randy heel? Or should they just finally pull the plug? Because to me, and Bob, you made the comment when Randy first turned heel about, I'm sorry. You made the comment when Randy won the Elimination Chamber match that, it's all about putting asses in seats. And a match with Randy Orton going for the title would put asses in seats. And I 100% agree with you. I agree they made the right call having him win this. But do you think, Robbie, that it would have added putting even more asses to seats instead of turning Randy heel if they would just pulled the plug and turned Cody heel?
Probably, but I mean, you can see why they did it with Randy because Randy had been a heel before. I think to bring but they're trying to bring the old Randy back.
And the fans love him, though. That's the problem.
Right. No, and that's it. But yeah, you would have been better off turning Cody. But
yeah, I agree.
Creative wanted to bring the old Randy back, and it's just kind of blown up on him.
My original co-host Mark, he had made the comment a while back that WWE will not ever be able to make the fans boo Randy Orton the way they used to boo him. He's too beloved, right? He's too respected. And I'm like, oh, come on. Randy Orton is so damn good that he'll be able to get fans to boo him. Mark is right. I was looking at it in the realm of Randy Orton being so damn good that he could get the heat. And that was the wrong way for me to look at it, because I think I don't think this has anything to do with whether or not Randy is, that good that he could get heat or not. It's the fact that he's just so respected in the business and the fans love him. And I think the fans definitely will cheer for him before they boo him over Cody Rhodes. Bob, I mean, is that what we're looking at? Or should it be? No, Randy should be good enough to get that heat where fans are going to boo him. That's for you, Bob.
Me? Oh, I thought I said Rob.
No, you.
Oh, yeah. Well, Randy is good, and the fans are the ones that are bad. They don't want to play along. So F those fans.
Yeah, Robbie.
By the way, I got a new T-shirt at Pro S&T, so don't F all of them.
Like I said, I just think they tried to do it with Randy, and it blew up on them by everybody, cheering for him and stuff. But could it also be? And here's the other thing you didn't bring up, though. Could it be that they might have said, "Hey, Cody, let's turn you," and Cody's saying, "No, I don't want to turn heel."
Yep. Possible.
Really? Because now, obviously, I don't know Cody Rhodes, but just from everything that I heard about Cody, that Cody's willing to play ball. Although, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, anything's possible, though. Right. But I mean, look at with Cena. That he put up, they wanted to turn him heel, and look how long he fought it.
Yeah. I bet Cody still sells more shirts than Randy.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, look at with the Cena, he and that kind of blew up with him. Even them turning Cena heel, it didn't go off like they had planned.
But that was I think that was because of poor writing on creative's part. I really do. I think that they were done that right. That heel turn by John Cena, in my humble opinion as a fan, that heel turn should have been, I'm not going to say as big as the Hogan heel turn. I don't think there will ever be anything that's going to happen as big as that. But it should have been still in that same conversation as that.
Right.
And I think that this was a failure on creative. I don't even think it was Cena's fault, to be honest with you. I think that was on creative. I don't know. Although, I mean, Cena did say that it was his idea not to change his music and other stuff. So I think that was a bad decision as well. I mean, Cena should have, everything should have been changed about Cena.
Should have converted to actually dressing like a wrestler with boots and instead of wearing stupid shorts and T-shirts all the time.
Yeah, I agree, because I mean, one of the things
you can't blame creative all on. You can't throw it all on creative, because if he's saying no, I don't want to change my music, not changing my look, he's part of the blame of it.
Yeah, I agree, because when Hogan turned heel, it was two folds. One, it was the shocker of him actually turning, but then it was the shocker of seeing him come out in all black. A man that was all about the red and yellow, and And, the blonde mustache and the blonde hair. Now he's coming out with the black, 5 o'clock shadow and all in black. And I mean, so it was twofold. It really was.
Right.
Yeah, they missed the boat on that one, in my opinion. Both creative and when it came to Cena, for that matter, they really did. But part of me really wonders if John Cena truly wanted to go out in and be hated that way, because people hated Hogan. I mean, It was bad. It was, but it was beautifully done. It really was. Do you guys think that Randy's going to get that title?
No.
I agree.
You don't think so?
Nope, I don't. Now, when it comes to Roman Reigns and CM Punk, I hope Roman Reigns gets the title. And I tell you why. A lot of people will talk shit. Roman Reigns, part-timer this. He was holding the belt hostage. I'll be honest with you. I think that when you're a world champion, you should only be there with the belt for special occasions because you are the world champion. Think about boxing, right? When you have all these boxing matches, you don't always see the world champion in professional boxing because it's only for these special occasions, because it is a special event. I think that's how the world title should be presented. Again, that's just my opinion. Bob, what do you think about that?
Yeah, but when it comes to Roman, the fans, they complain when he just happens to have we talked about it many times, the best deal in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fans think is irrelevant, What they always come up with, you're supposed to defend the title every 30 days. It's wrestling. They make up the rules as they go. None of it really means anything.
Right. Nobody that holds the title defends every fucking 30, except for maybe the United States title because of the open challenge on WWE. Other than that, the tag team belts going months. Shit, you going months without even seeing the people who held the belts, much less it be in.
Who is the champion anyways? I don't even know.
Damian Priest and
That's right.
R-Truth.
on that side, but the Usos on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side. Speaking of, and we'll close on this because I wanted to, we didn't get a chance to cover it. What do you guys think about Priest and R-Truth being the new tag team champions on SmackDown? SmackDown, is it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, on SmackDown. So with you, Robbie?
I think they're just trying to do something to get Priest back up, get his credibility back up. So they're, and I think they're doing something for Truth because he's probably on his way out. So they're like, let's see if we can bring up Damian's, credibility, bring him back up to where he was before. And let's just do this, do something nice for R-Truth.
Right. Terry, I agree. He says Flair was on TV all the time, but only defended at big shows. I agree with you. And it made, for myself, and I can only speak for myself, it made that belt seem more special. That's why you had the U.S. title, because that was considered the working man's belt. That's the belt that you often see defended on television. Bob, your thoughts on Damian Priest and R-Truth being tag team champions?
I don't care at all. Not even this much, or that much, or this much, or that much. I don't care.
Well, there you go, guys.
Well, a 50-something-year-old guy, come on. It's time to let it rest. Come on. 55 years old or whatever he is. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that takes care of the recap of Raw. I know, Robbie, what would you overall grade?
I give it a B.
Bob?
I give it a B, but I lean more on a B plus because of AJ's abs. But where was Maxine, though, by the way? What's going on with that?
He didn't even
not on TV, which was a good thing.
Shameful. We got to look at Roxanne, but we can't look at Maxine. Come on. I was going to give SmackDown
a D minus.
Wow.
SmackDown.
I mean Raw. Sorry, but no, I'm just joking. No, I'd give it a solid B. I enjoyed the show last night.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible.
No, I mean, it did look like people were trying a little bit harder. Crowd popped. It was, you can kind of tell they're working towards WrestleMania.
And that's the thing. I feel like last year at this time, and Robbie, I know you wasn't with us on a podcast, but Bob, you are. And I remember the conversations that we had, Bob, that you brought up, that you just didn't feel like it was WrestleMania season because there wasn't a whole lot of build up to it. Do you feel differently this year that they're doing a little bit more to make it seem like this big event, WrestleMania, is coming up?
No. I was going to say, I think it's like one of the worst builds ever because it's a lot of just repetition, things being thrown together, not knowing where really they stand, who's going to be where. I don't know. It seems like chaos.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? Go ahead. No, I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's just chaos in the writer's room. Road Dogg quit. And I mean, there's dissension in the ranks.
Robbie, do you feel like this is a good build for WrestleMania, or no, not really?
I mean, I don't remember like last year. If you were saying, "Hey, what was the build up for last year?"
No, last year, and I agree with Bob. It just didn't seem like there was a whole lot of storylines that was getting us excited for WrestleMania. Now, I see where Bob is coming from. At the same time, I feel like there's a little bit more of a build-up with this whole thing going on with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and now Roman Reigns and CM Punk, right? But it definitely is not, it doesn't have that excitement in the air like previous years, that's for sure. Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're doing a bad job. I mean, it does seem like I said last night, it just seemed like the guys worked a little bit harder and you kind of, I mean, not every match we're all going to be looking forward to, but, there are matches that you will look forward to.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, guys, that does it for the recap of Monday Night Raw. Robbie, I know that, you have some match coming up. It's basically getting your revenge on the Cooks, although it's not Eddie Cook, it's Junior Cook.
It's the better cook of the two cooks.
Let me just say this: I just got a text from Penelope Paradise, and she said, "Are you going to be at that show? I want you at that show. So don't count your chickens for the hatched idol, because you never know. The old heart attack didn't take me out."
Well, the heart attack didn't take you out, but my kendo stick may take your ass out. So
well, at least I would sell it.
I'd hit you so hard you wouldn't have a choice.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, Bobby said, how it would be nice to, you never been able to tag with you. You may not be able to tag with them per se, but there's still a lot that you could do. Are you saying maybe, just maybe, Bobby may come back to the podcast that Tuesday after that match on May 8th? Not so much of a smile on his face, but maybe a little bit of anger at you because, you showed up and I don't know, baby Junior got the 1, 2, 3 on him.
Anything could happen in the world of professional wrestling, not just the WWE.
That's right. Remember, the card's subject to change.
Right. That kid dropped out, so see, I don't know what happened there.
So May 8th, right, Robbie?
May 9th.
May 9th,
the day before Mother's Day and the day before my daughter's birthday. So
I think May 8th is my wedding day. I think.
Is it?
I don't want to think about that.
May 8th, I'm going to be at FanFest.
Yeah, see, May 8th, you'll be 8th and 9th, I think. 8th and 9th, right? The FanFest.
FanFest. That's be a great weekend. May 8th and 9th for myself, FanFest. May 9th for you, possibly getting your revenge on Robert Cook. Maybe, or maybe a great weekend for the Cooker, because the Cooker may finally say, you know what, this might not be the Shell station, you son of a bitch, but I'm kicking
That's right.
That's right.
And also, at some point during that week, I'm going to be in Florida looking for our new house, and going to be able to meet up with you guys finally.
Right.
So exciting times. Yeah. Yep. So, but tell us time of the show, where it's going to be at.
It'll be at the Twisted Fork at 2:30 in the afternoon. So the day before Mother's Day, so May 9th. But Twisted Fork, and the Twisted Fork is in Port Charlotte, Florida. That's where it'll be. It'll be 2:30. You should be done by no later than 6. So it'll be a quick show.
3.5 hours. That's not much.
I don't know. I went to Venice High. I don't know numbers. I had to use my calculator for something.
It's 3.5 hours. Maybe I won't go. I don't know.
You got some T-shirts.
I've been making a lot of awesome T-shirts personally, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, you have actually. I've seen pictures of them. Where can people find these T-shirts?
Well, they can't, but I make pretty cool ones. No, I just uploaded my newest one to the Pro Wrestling T-Store. It hasn't been accepted yet. You have to upload it. It takes 24 to 48 hours for them to say, you can have it there. But you can go to tpublic.com, and I got a bunch of shirts there.
Well, I tell you guys, look, I have a Bob Cook shirt. It's extremely comfortable. Made of great materials, made of cotton. Go buy yourself a Bob Cook T-shirt. And like I said, May 8th and 8th, I will be at FanFest, guys. Now, of course, I'm not going to be at FanFest as one of the guys to meet, but will be guys, great people that you can meet. JBL, for instance, he's going to be there. Mick Foley is going to be doing his one-man show there on Friday night.
Well, tell Mick I said hello.
Yes, Mickey James, she's going to be.
Tell Mick Robbie Idol's bicep says hello or goodbye. Rest in peace.
Lots of legends is going to be there. Look, guys, I'm telling you, this is better than any Comic-Con that you guys could go to, because at FanFest, not only do you get to meet with your favorite legends, but oftentimes you run into them at the restaurants and, possibly sit down and sit and chat with them. I walked away last year, man. I tell you, I've made friends, lifelong friends with so many of them. People like the original Sunny from Glow.
I love her.
Yeah, I love Patricia. She is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Darla's going to be there. I love Darla. Hell,
Barbara. Is Barbara going to be there? Barbara's
going to be there. So SICW.org, guys. Go get your tickets now. I'm telling you, it is filling up fast. And although I am no legend by any means, come say hello to me. I love meeting people who watch this little podcast of ours, who suffers through having to watch Robbie and Bob argue.
That's true. I got a restraining order, and he don't know it yet.
We are here every Tuesday night to do recaps of Monday Night Raw, as well as Thursday nights for AEW Dynamite, and Fridays, about 30 minutes after SmackDown. Myself, Robbie Idol, and the Grizzle Vet, who's also with us on Thursdays, we do recaps of SmackDown. Plus, I do my interviews during the week. You can find me, KG Landry, on Facebook, where you will see the schedule of people who are going to be on the podcast, as well as, I like to do a little bit of writing about professional wrestlers. Sometimes I highlight professional wrestlers, and I do occasionally talk about things that's happening in professional wrestling, although I'm not really big enough to cover breaking news, because I don't know a goddamn person in the business that can call me, Kevin, breaking news. So I'll stick on the fun stuff.
Well, we got news tonight. Sid Vicious going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Sid Vicious, and how do you guys?
Cycle Sid, whatever.
Cycle Sid, which I was really excited to hear about. How do you guys feel about the Worm going into the Hall of Fame? NWO member in NBA. What is his name again?
Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
Dennis Rodman. There's been a lot of fans upset about. Not really upset. Not upset that he's going in, but upset that people like China hasn't been inducted yet. And
she was. China was inducted by herself. China was inducted as a team and by herself.
Has she been by herself?
Yes.
I just know people were
wrestling fans are overbearing, obnoxious, uneducated, pig-faced bastards to the core, the highest mountains in the world. Just go to it and jump off, for God's sakes.
Okay, but here, since you brought that up with
Yeah.
that, I mean, I'm good with it because I liked Rodman, but all the Hall of Fames, to me, think about it. There's people that don't belong in there, that people are, and we're going to talk about.
Robbie, hold on a second.
Hold on.
I just need to correct Bob real quick.
Okay.
China has been inducted as a DX member in 2019, but only as a DX member.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. In other case, but the fact she was there, so shut up.
Mm.
So,
who cares?
But here, because the biggest farce of all the Hall of Fames is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he's up for introduction. The long lost idol, Billy Idol, that with in the family of Austin, Robbie, and Brian Idol. He's the fourth member of the Idols, but he's still an idol. So, but it's rock and roll, and Billy Idol is a rocker. And you know who's ahead of him? The New Edition. Now, you're going to tell me the New Edition is going to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ahead of Billy Idol. Name me one song the New Edition did.
Bye, bye, bye. No, was that it?
I don't know.
Terry says we need a jobber Hall of Fame. Of course, Terry is a professional wrestler, guys.
No, we don't. Not a jobber Hall of Fame. The Star Makers wing.
Yes, I agree. I
Jobber.
agree about that, what you just said, because I've always said if it wasn't for the Bob Cooks, if it wasn't for the Robbie Idols, if it wasn't for the Terry Zellers,
Right.
then your Ric Flairs, your Undertakers, right? Your Lex Lugers, three men that each of you guys have, one of you guys have faced,
Right,
they wouldn't have become who they were. I mean, my God. I'm sorry, hold on. The Monkey Brothers,
Right. But think of the first two, your two biggest ones, Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler. Those two guys.
George South.
Well, in George South. So, but the three of them were like your original guys that,
the Monkey Brothers were there too. The Monkey Brothers, let me tell you something.
Monkey Mania.
They helped make the Road Warriors, because there was no team that made the Road Warriors look as dominating as they were than the Monkey Brothers. And I have always said this. Everyone talks about the original hardcore people. The Monkey Brothers were the fucking original hardcore people, because these guys took abuse. These guys were thrown out of the ring over the top rope like lawn darts. And there were no padding, as you guys know, on the floors back then. These guys took some massive abuse, man. These guys need to be in a Hall of Fame, period. Go ahead, Robbie.
No, I agree with you. I mean, but Horowitz and
I agree about them too.
But those guys were all weren't they ahead of the Monkeys?
Maybe. I heard about from the region I lived in, the territories I lived in, I was exposed to the Monkey Brothers, to Bob Cook, before I ever was exposed to Barry Horowitz.
Well, during that era, where the Monkey Brothers and Monkey Mania, in the early to mid '80s, Barry was working down here in Florida as Jack Hart, and he also worked as Barry Hart early in his career. But he was Jack Hart, and he was managed by Percy Pringle. You may know that name here in Florida around '85 and '86. Because Barry and I teamed up a few times here in Florida, and he was Jack Hart then. So he didn't go by his real name. That was 86, 87.
Right. And I honestly, that name Jack Hart sounds a lot more familiar from my kid days from that time than what Barry Horowitz did. Again, it all depends on the territory that you lived in or what you were exposed to. Because like I said, I was familiar with Ric Flair. I knew about Bob Cook long before I ever knew about Hulk Hogan.
What?
I did, because again, the territory. When you only have one channel that covers professional wrestling, right? that's all you exposed to. You don't hear about. It's not like professional wrestling territory days. We're talking about other guys in territories, from New York, Mid-South Wrestling. Bill Watts didn't talk about Hulk Hogan. He talked about, Ric Flair. I heard about, I've seen Bob Cook matches, but I didn't hear about Hulk Hogan too much later until we actually got cable. And that's not a hit towards Hulk Hogan. It's just what you were exposed to back then.
Right. And the way you would have found out about it, because the way, I did when I was in junior high, because you just had Florida Championship Wrestling. So you would get the Pro Wrestling, the magazines, and you read. So, had it not been for those magazines, I would have never heard of Bruno Sammartino and, your guys that were up north that never came down south.
Matter of fact, one of the first, I'm not going to say it was the first times, but one of the first times I ever heard Hulk Hogan's name was, and I'll never forget this, JR was working for Bill Watts Mid-South. And it must have been around the first WrestleMania. I remember JR talking about how their champion, Ric Flair, was the real champion because Ric Flair was fighting real men, basically. JR wanted to talk about how they didn't bring in actors and people from Hollywood to, and he was talking about Mr. T and all that. But that's the most exposure that I had to Hulk Hogan or WWF at that time. Because again, Channel 26 was the only channel that I had professional wrestling, which was Mid-South. And then eventually I was introduced to Georgia Championship Wrestling, TBS. So those, very much NWA guy here.
And Mr. T's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, Mr. T.
And by the way, speaking of the Hall of Fame, people who always complain that this guy's not in and that person's not in, or he's in before she's in, blah, blah, blah. Nobody but the people behind the scenes know the inner workings. We don't know nothing about the deals. We don't know. And unless they got a crystal ball, they know when someone's going to die. They don't sit there and go, well, let's wait till he dies and put him. It just so happens that way. People go, well, they knew Vader was going to die. Yeah, well, so what? You can't accommodate everybody. But we don't know the inner workings because I know they pay them to be in there. They give them money to be in that. And some people might just go, I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. Ain't enough money, or they're hard to deal with and they don't want to deal with them. Then they come to their senses later on. And they go, oh, okay, I'll do it. Like Bret Hart and the Steiners. They were down on WWE. They finally negotiated them into the Hall of Fame, probably to, get them closer with the Braun Breaker coming in and stuff. But we don't know the inner, say what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the baseball fame. We don't really know the inner workings as to why one does sooner or never gets in. And a lot of these guys like Demolition, they were on that lawsuit for years, that bullshit concussion lawsuit. You don't honor people like that. And then you amend fences and they get in, blah, blah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Barbarian, I don't know why you made me think about this. They said the Barbarians is going to be at Fantastic 4. But
he's a good guy.
Yeah, going back to, I'm going to say something probably very unpopular that may upset a couple of people, and I don't mean to. I'm just being honest. Do I think China should be in there as individually? I do, but also, do I understand why she hasn't? If I'm going according to what I think it might have been what Triple H said, I do. It was explained that WWE has this image they want to withhold, and he said that, there's been concerns in the past that you say China's being inducted. And for fans who may not know who China is, they go and search China. And as you see porn. From, this was quite a few years ago under the Vince McMahon era. But still, so I can kind of understand some things, although I may not agree with it. I can understand why they say some of the things that are why they think and why they haven't done some of the things. But I definitely think that China should be in there. But there's lots of people that I think.
But at the same time, this is a concept in theory that you want to go on every year.
Right.
So you got all these people that are just like, why they ain't? Let's just put everybody in one year, let it run like 6 days in a row, and we'll never do it again.
Right.
Something else too. Calm down. Eventually something will get in, or if they don't, there's a reason for it that we don't know. Like Miss Elizabeth. She should be in, but her family won't allow it. Owen Hart should be in. Family won't allow it. Cyndi Lauper should be in. She doesn't want to. So, Eventually, she probably will be, but she definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
People don't give her the credit she deserves. Without Cyndi Lauper, there never would have been a WrestleMania.
100%.
Boom, none of that would have happened.
Well, yeah, without Cyndi Lauper, without Wendy Richter, without Captain without your friend, I can never pronounce her name.
Leilani Kai.
Yeah, Leilani Kai. You know, a lot of people are brought into these conversations when it comes to WrestleMania, the original WrestleMania, that absolutely should be brought into the conversations.
And that really was a lightning in a bottle situation. You took a young up and coming singer who just had a quirky personality, and you teamed her or paired her with one of the greatest characters in entertainment history from any genre of entertainment, Captain Lou Albano. And man, they made appearances on Letterman and the Tonight Show, and she put over wrestling huge, and it just clicked.
And all of this started with a chance
meeting on an airplane.
A plane ride where she sat next to Captain Lou Albano, where they met, and she liked him, invited him to play her father in one of her video.
Yeah.
And boom.
He was in the Time After Time video too. He played a bartender.
Yep. And it just took off from there. That's what you never know in life, when that something that you just don't think twice about will turn out to be something massive.
Yeah, and then you had that perfect match, man. MTV was getting popular at that time. You had that rock and wrestling connection. You had all the rock and roll guys involved, Dick Clark and Dee Snider and all these people playing along. It was the perfect storm.
Yep.
It really was. And you had a Hulk Hogan who stood out from the crowd. If you put him in Hulk Hogan in a crowd of 1,000 people, you're going to know who Hulk Hogan is. He stands out. So it was just a perfect thing.
Funny thing about that. You mentioned, the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling. Do you know that I watched that cartoon before I ever seen Hulk Hogan in a wrestling match? Yep.
You're doing things backwards, I'm telling you.
Again, I was just, my older brother tried, when we got cable, to introduce me to WWF. I just didn't take to it. And again, it wasn't because it was bad. I was used to a certain kind of professional wrestling, which was NWA type, Mid-South, Georgia Championship Wrestling. That's what I was accustomed to.
Well, like the most important date in professional wrestling history, January 23rd, 1984, when Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik at the Garden. I swear, people in wheelchairs stood up that night. It was like a religious experience. If you go back and watch this, unbelievable crowd reaction.
Right.
And it all went from there.
Yeah, it did. Anyway, guys, that, again, for the third time, I think, wraps up the podcast tonight. Please don't forget to subscribe. And again, don't forget, follow me on Facebook, KG Landry. Also follow Get Your Bell Rung Professional Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. I never ask you guys, always, mean to. Robbie, do you care if people find you on Facebook?
No, that's fine.
Tell them where they can find you.
I actually go by my government name. So my government last name is Beauclair, and it's spelled Boisclair. If you ever forget it, there was a dude that played for the Mets named Bruce Beauclair. So look up an old thing, old Met sheet.
Bob, what about you?
Well, if you look up Bob Cook on Facebook, you're going to be pleasantly depressed to realize there's a lot of people using my name, damn it. I think there's like 3 people as friends of mine on Facebook named Robert and Bob Cook. Not including my own son.
So, and we'll wrap up after this. My wife has been telling me, and I keep on forgetting, that the 3 of you are going to have to go by other names, because although Bob Cook, but your real name's Robbie, Robert, and then your son, Robert Cook, there's like 3 Roberts that are directly involved. And she's like, Jesus Christ, really? What's the chances of that? Because your son, man, Bob, I love your kid, man. Great guy. He's going to do some hiking with me and stuff. Let's move to Florida. So
what? It's crazy.
that. So anyway, guys, again,
He
please
be careful. He called me the other night. He was drinking and playing darts. So watch out for that kid.
Guys, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you back on a Thursday night for a recap of AEW Dynamite.